the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight, the final night of the National Oval Racing Association UMP Nationals. We are still here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Good evening, race fans. Your broadcast team for tonight, myself, Brett Wheeler, alongside Steve McMillan and Stephen. Night 1, Night 2 is complete. We've seen some fantastic racing over the first 2 nights, I should say. And now it comes down to a 30-lap B main to see which final drivers will lock into the show. We'll have a 10-lap dash for the top 6 drivers, top 3 from night number 1 and night number 2. They'll run a 10-lap dash. And then, of course, a 60-lap main event to come. Of course, all going to be run in the one service. So the overlay and the ticket may not be correct until the final race of the night. But, Steve, again, it's going to be a fantastic night here at the Volusia Speedway Park.
That's right. Rated R Tuesdays. How about that?
Yeah, I think we're a day early.
No, today's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, but normally we go rated R Wednesdays, isn't it?
That's right. We'll get
we're a
warmed up.
We're a day early. Yep, we got 24 hours preparation. Right, okay, so the session has just rolled over into the qualifying session now. However, these drivers are not going to be qualifying. It is for the drivers in the B main. They will run 30 laps around the Volusia Speedway Park. Of course, run manually, so there will be yellows, but it will be done manually. So you won't see the yellow flag come out on the racetrack. You won't see the pace truck come out onto the circuit. Again, it'll just be these drivers listening to the race control demands. And Steve, last night compared to night number 1, with the changing of the different servers, of course, it took away, a lot of the time last night. How did the track play out last night?
I think the track played out pretty good. It was racy all over, and it was fun to watch, especially in the heat races. We saw some 4, even some people try to stick it in 5 wide. I mean, it was quite racy all night.
Well, hopefully we can expect the same here tonight. While the cars are coming out onto the racetrack course, we've got to give a shout out to Josh Conover and the entire team here at National Oval Racing Association for putting on this 3-night show. Of course, it's not easy to go out there and promote this kind of race deal and stuff like that. So, Steve, as you know, he's done some promoting, he's done some recruiting, and it's a hell of a lot of work to put in, basically a successful 1-night show, let alone 2 or even 3-night deal.
It is. It gets very, we call time consuming for a league owner when they're doing this, and I'm very proud of Josh. I mean, he has his head on straight, and he's been able to bring good racing to the people watching Ultimate Dirt TV both nights, and the drivers too, been able to get to racing some good racing.
All right, and of course, while these drivers are getting lined up, of course, we'll give a shout out to our own sponsors as well. Of course, you can find them on our website. Head over to www.ultimatedirttv.com. You can click on the sponsors tab. You can also keep up to date with our schedule as well what we've got going on throughout the week, Sunday to Thursday night. We are 5 nights a week broadcasting. Of course, those wonderful people behind the scenes that are helping us for another season here on Ultimate Dirt TV. A big thanks to Wicked Cushion, 19 Designs, the World of Thunder Racing League, National Oval Racing Association, JR Productions and Media, Monsters of Dirt, iRacing, iFlags, and Black Diamond Motorsports. Don't forget to check them out on all their social media pages as well. Give them a like and a follow. Of course, head over to our YouTube channel if you could. A little favour to ask for all you race fans. YouTube.com/Ultimate Dirt TV. Hit that subscribe button. We are nearing 1,000 subs, but of course we just need your help just getting across the line. And of course we are coming into tonight, Steve. I think we're about 23 followers away from 5,000 followers on Facebook. And again, the support is much appreciated here.
Yes, that's right. Some great, one thing we really appreciate you fans watching us and giving Brett the follows and the likes. This shows the support you have. And you know what, Brett? The lineup's in the chat, so are you ready to give the lineup out, or?
Yeah, sure, let's go for it. I know Shad Prescott's going to start on pole alongside the 5P of Dylan Petty. And you go back to the 47 of Laurel Havens. Now, I'm doing this by looking at the car numbers alone, Steve. So Nick Jordan, I believe, will start out of position 4. Then we go back to the 17 of Brett Rolls, TJ Wyman, the 00. I believe that'll be Wes Kirchner alongside the number 10 machine. That's Adam Tevez. Then you go back to the 77. That'll be Josh Connor. As we're getting set to go green flag action, Steve, the B main is underway. And we are green flag here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Down into 1 and 2 we go. Prescott has got the lead. Down the back straight over for the first of 30 laps here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Steve, how many are we taking through for this one?
Top 8 go to the future. Top 8 out of 30 lap B main.
All right, top 8. So we'll keep an eye on around the bubble position throughout the course of the B main. Of course, lap 1 in the books. And here goes Laurel Havens sliding up in front of Dylan Petty. Petty going to fight back up on the inside on the exit of turn number 2. And Havens getting a good run on Shad Prescott. And Prescott, who didn't run night number 1, was a little scared of the competition. Yeah, I believe he ran last night, Steve.
He did, and he found himself against the wall a couple of times, upside down, left and right. And they're 3 wide coming out of first straightaway. Going in turn number 1. You look, Laurel Havens, I will tell you this, last night, Brett, he was really tight, had to set up all wrong in the heat race action. And it wasn't really till the A main we started getting it come around. And you're seeing him right now running up front against Shad Prescott in the D1RT entry.
Yeah, Prescott ran a solid 12th place finish last night. The boys from D1RT giving him a bit of a stick about that one, as now we're going to battle on for 4th and 5th. That's the battle in the 17s. Brett Rolls the 17 up on the inside, the black, white, grey number 17. On his outside, Nick Jordan, the black and yellow number 17. Those sort themselves out into positions 4 and 5, single file down into 1 and 2. Then you go back to Wes Kirchner in 6th, 7th. Is the 37 of Brian Powell. And that 8th and final transfer spot up for grabs between Adam Tevez in the NOS number 10 machine and TJ Wyman in the 00. And that's the battle right now for that final transfer position for tonight's 60-lap main event.
That's right. It's going to be a hefty 60-lap main event with some hefty drivers in it. Brett, I'm just wondering, since we're honorary team members now, D1RT, did you get your shirt yet?
No, you wish there was about as tight as a nun. Mate, they wouldn't shout in the shark attack, those fellas. All right, back to the action. There's Prescott still. In fact, it's not Prescott. In fact, there's Laurel Havens in new race lead-up. Shad Prescott rides in 2nd, and this track will carry over throughout the rest of the night as well. So this is a chance for these drivers to tear up this racetrack a bit to where we're not going to have just that one-line groove for tonight's main event. And well, early on at the moment, Laurel Havens has made it work on the bottom side. Prescott was trying upstairs for the previous 10 laps or so, but now he's gone down to the bottom, and he's going to get by the 47 of Laurel Havens for your race lead. Interesting to note, Steve, as well. Look at the second fastest time on the board. Trey Schmidt in car number 12. He's only a couple of spots from that transfer position right now in the black and green number 12, working the outside.
That's right. As right now he's working on the 10 car And that 10 car is
Adam Tevez.
somebody.
Come on,
I
mate.
tried to look at the race lineup. My bad.
Yeah, look, don't worry about that, mate.
Oh, Adam Tevez. My bad, Adam.
I just said that.
Yeah.
My God, son, what is going on? Anyhow, back to the action.
Maybe I need some sleep.
Now, I had plenty of that. I had about 11 hours prior to waking up to this one. As Trey Schmidt now, he's got that top side rolling in the number 12 machine. Sits in position 10 at the moment. Adam Tevez in 9th. Both those drivers on the outside looking in, but it was all TJ Wyman again clinching and clutching at the final straws of tonight's main event.
You know, I'm really impressed with Laurel Havens right now. So far, the best lap has came from him with a 17.469.
Yeah, 10th quicker than anybody else on the racetrack at the moment. In fact, now we go back to the battle on for the race lead. Havens up on the inside again. He hasn't gone away from that bottom side. And look at Shad Prescott back upstairs in turns 3 and 4. We'll do the same in 1 and 2. They go side by side in a good 3-car battle on for 3rd, 4th and 5th between Dylan Petty, Brett Rolls and Nick Jordan. All 3 of those drivers looking to punch their ticket into the main event. And look at Prescott. He got to run into turn number 3. He's got the drive and the speed on the exit of turn number 4. Boy, oh boy, Shad Prescott, the 14 car, is starting to get a move on, Steve.
He is, and he's getting that momentum. The high side coming in slowly but for surely. But look at Laurel Havens. And you look right there, he got a little tight into middle of 3. Coming out, it's going to be all Shad Prescott at the flag stand. And now Shad took the slider line right there as they come out of the back straightaway as he started putting a little bit more gap on Laurel Havens. But, you know, you look at here, Nick Jordan in 3rd spot and Dylan Petty in 4th.
Yeah, Brett Rolls back there in 5th as well. As I said, a 3-car battle on for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Nick Jordan, who was back in 5th probably about 10 laps ago, has finally pulled his finger out and he's made his way up to position 3. But again, Steve, I think too early on in this B main, we're probably across the halfway stage. We're certainly inside of 10 laps to go. You don't want to be showing your hand too early. In fact, I believe now if this ticker is working the way that it should, again the ticker up the top, I'm talking about ATVO, that was lap number 21, Steve. So we should have 9 to run.
Well, yeah, because, you know, they took 1 lap for a warm-up, basically.
So then
make
20.
sure everybody was lined.
So we're 10 to go. Yeah, we're 9 now. See?
There you go. We Ed Livingston, are you on watching tonight?
Yeah, he was watching. He just ain't saying nothing. Where's Kershaw?
Ed?
Where's Kershaw, the 96? He is in position number 6. 7th now is TJ Wyman and Brian Powell in that 8th and final transfer spot. I'm surprised that Trey Schmidt hasn't been able to catch up to the back of these drivers. He had to get by Adam Tevez first, and now Benji Killian putting pressure on Trey Schmidt. So Trey Schmidt will be the first car to miss out. So any car behind the 12 machine, along with that 12, if they stay in this order, will miss tonight's main event. But now look at the 12 of Trey Schmidt starting to close the gap on the drivers in 7th and 8th at the moment. Brian Powell and TJ Wyman, they're battling side by side down into 1 and 2. And this is going to give the opportunity right now for Trey Schmidt as the laps start to wind down. He's got a chance at making the show, but he's got to get up to him first. One thing to catch him, another thing to pass him.
That's right. One thing to catch him, one thing to pass him, you know, and one thing just not to screw up.
That he just did then. In fact, there in turn 1 and 2, he got a little bit loose there on the bottom side of the racetrack, so that might have been his chance at maybe making the show. I believe we're on about 5 to run. And we're about a handful of laps left to go in this B main of the final night of the National Oval Racing Association UMP Nationals. As we've still got the battle on between Tevez and Killian right now. Again, these drivers on the outside looking in along with now Trey Schmidt. So you put this 3-car battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th.
That's right. And, you know, really the 37 car of Brian Powell started pulling away from Trey Schmidt. So the bubble has just got a little harder to catch. Or to pop, whichever way you want to look at it. But anyway, back up front, you see the 47 starting to close back in on Shad Prescott a little bit.
Yeah, starting to close the gap again. That bottom side is just starting to get a little bit slicker right now. But these drivers are still able to... In fact, you see Prescott right there. In fact, just pretty much rolling right through the slick. And by the time they come out of turn number 2, he's just above it. So it's not the full slider line, but it is somewhat of a mini slider line. But again, just trying to keep that speed and momentum up, as I believe we're on about 1 or 2 laps left to run. Here in tonight's B main, Prescott still leads. Here comes Havens once again, fighting back down the inside. Look at the battle on for 4th and 5th. Brett rolls. And we'll take a look at the 5P of Dylan Petty. I just had to find out what number that was. So Brett rolls into position 4. But have a look at Nick Jordan, Steve, as the checkers are out.
That's right, finishing a strong 3rd. Riles finishing 4th and Petty.
Take a look at the drivers that moved on to the main event. Your winner tonight in caliber 14, Shad Prescott. 2nd, he's going to go to the driver, the number 47 of Laurel Havens. 3rd, going to be the 17 of Nick Jordan. Home in 4th will be another 17 of Brett Rolls in position number 4. Position 5 is going to be the 5P of Dylan Petty. 6th will be the 96 of Wes Kirchner. 7th, the 00 of TJ Wyman. And your 8th and final transfer spot goes to the BP in caliber 37 of Brian Powell. The drivers missing out, unfortunately, these drivers are Trey Schmidt, Adam Tevez, Benji Killian, Brent Hobson. We go back to Ronald Piles, Joshua Jarrett, the 27, the 55 of Dylan Dickerson, and Josh Conover, I believe, as well, finishing with a DNF. But the win goes to Shad Prescott. And Steve, you want to have a talk with Shad?
Sure, because I want to find out where our shirt is.
I'm not sure he's going to know. I think the man you're going to have to talk to is going to be Ed. But we'll bring him in and we'll let you chat with our B-main winner.
All right, congratulations on your B main win, Chad. And, Laurel Havens was pretty strong in that B main. And he managed to get around them. But he really didn't let you go too far. Great.
No, you guys got me.
Yeah, we got you. I hope you're quiet because you're finding our honorary team member shirts that we're supposed to wear.
Oh, bud. No, it was car was pretty good there. I was just kind of biding my time. I didn't realize the bottom was going to be that good at the beginning, and then once he started getting runs, I just kind of fell in line until the top come back in and just worked my way around him. And then after that, I was just trying to be smooth and not hit the wall like I did last night.
Well, you did a good job there, and so you're in the A main. So what's the goal? It's going to be 60 long laps, the future race. Is it going to be go all out at the very beginning, sit back, kind of wait, or?
I'd say the first probably 15 or 20 laps, you're going to have to be patient and kind of let them spread out, and hopefully you don't end up getting caught up in a wreck. And I think if you got a pretty good car and you're there at the end, you have a good chance to run around 5th or so.
Right. Good job. Well, good job on your win tonight. And who would you like to thank making it all possible?
Yeah, just got to thank all the guys over at D1RT, Eddie Livingston, NORA for putting on this race, and you guys for the broadcast.
Much better than last night, I'll say.
Oh, Brett.
Boom. Mic drop.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm getting a black Sharpie and I'm fixing to write D1RT on my forehead.
Wow, okay. I thought you might have... No, I'll leave that...
No, I ain't going to put it there.
I thought you were going to write something else that had a D1.
Hey, guess what? What's this coming up?
Next race on the program will be the Dash. Just quickly before we go, Divine, thank you for that 100 bits on Twitch. Appreciate it. I am from Australia. Steve is from the United States of America. So we're going to 10-lap dash coming up. The top 3, Steve, from night 1 and night 2. Of course, the winners will start on the front row. The second place drivers will start in row 2. Third place drivers will, if you can't comprehend on where they're going to start, well, maybe you should just close to broadcast and be done with this, because if you can't realise, they start from position at number 5 and 6 in rows number 3. And we have our dash lineup right now. 10 laps going to be the distance, Steve. And, well, let's play the Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid without the overlay coming up.
All right. All right, starting your front row, car number 42, D1RT, is going to be Jordan Casey on his outside. In car number 69, and a new paint scheme tonight is Corey Whitworth. Starting on your second row, inside, in car number 80, D1RT, Dylan Wilson. And on the outside, it's the Hollywood J.D. Brown in the car number 14. And then we got Hayden Gardwell starting 5th, and Tyler Hargrove starting 6th.
All right, so go.
I was going to say, Brett, if you got to watch the show last night, Tyler Hargrove was pretty strong all night until the end of the feature.
Yeah, no, not going to lie. I didn't get to watch the final bit of the program, but I'm sure you guys did a fantastic job. You and your 2 clowns that you had in here.
We were blowing up balloons, that's for sure.
Yeah, a bunch of clowns. Anyhow, the car's on the racetrack right now for tonight's dash.
Wait a minute, you put me down. You didn't put them down, you put me.
I said a bunch of clowns.
That still called me a clown.
No, you listen to what I said previously. I said your 2 clowns that you had in here last night.
All right.
See, you can't play the Brett Wheeler mind games on Brett Wheeler. It just doesn't happen. I thought you would have learned that by now, Steve.
I'm trying. And don't forget to join us tomorrow night, Wednesday night, for the Triple X edition of this show.
Oh, dear God. How we haven't been fired from that show, I'll never know. But the car's rolling around on the speedway right now for tonight's dash. 10 laps will be the distance. It's going to be Jordan Casey alongside Corey Whitworth. The green flag flies right away in tonight's dash, as it's going to be Casey getting a good jump down into 1 and 2. Dylan Wilson, Corey Whitworth, they run side by side. Hayden Cardwell heading it back to Tyler Hargrove as well alongside J.D. Brown. Some 2x2 in the mid-pack of this dash, but look at all D1RT. They all run the bottom. Dylan Wilson looking to move into second spot. Lap 1 complete. It's Jordan Casey.
That's right, Jordan Casey, but you look right now, the 69 car, try to hold a strong second on the high line, as Dylan Wilson's working a little bit on the bottom, trying, but, you know, the momentum's for the 69 in second spot. And look at J.D. Brown in 4th, starting to put some pressure on the 80 car for that 3rd.
Now, are you seeing an all-black car for Hayden Cardwell? With like
I
blue?
am, with a teal D1RT.
Yeah, what a clown. Anyhow, 3 laps in, 7 to run. I don't know why he wouldn't stick with the other paint scheme that he had on. It was...
Well, it has 72 on a side instead of 7.
All right, fair enough. Anyhow, 4 laps in from tonight's dash. The top 3 from night 1 and night 2 for the prelim nights in the main event, as well, Jordan Casey, again, looking to show a clean set of heels here tonight, looking to start on pole for tonight's 60-lap main event. 5 laps to go this time by 5. So 5 in the books, 5 to run. Your lineup at the moment, it'll stand as Jordan Casey, Corey Whitworth, Dylan Wilson. And the battle on for 4th and 5th right now between J.D. Brown and Hayden Cardwell. Tyler Hargrove looks like he's going to start position number 6 as, well, 4 to run, Steve.
That's right, for the run. You look at the top 3, nose to tail. And you look this time as the 69 tries to duck underneath of the 42. Cannot make it happen. Coming out, turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Actually loses a little bit of ground to Jordan Casey, the 42. But Dylan Wilson's all in his hip pocket. But they're applying heavy pressure for that second spot.
Yeah, Whitworth right in the middle of a D1RT sandwich, like where Hayden Cardwell likes to be. He likes to be the meat between the buns. But that belongs right now to Corey Whitworth, as he's the only driver to separate this D1RT podium lockout at the moment. But again, this is just the dash as well. Look at Wilson with just 2 to run. He's going downstairs, down into 1 and 2, trying to slide up. But that top side at the moment, Steve, just looks too dominant as they come to the white flag this time by.
That's right. It is really dominant for the high side, the momentum. As I see one on the board, so I guess that's the white flag, or is that two
Correct.
laps to go?
No, 1 lap to go. This is the white flag, the
All
final
right.
time.
Coming down the back straightaway, see it's going to be all Jordan Casey from start to finish as it come out turn number 4, car number 42, Jordan Casey. And then the 69 car, Corey Whitworth, comes home in second. Dylan Wilson in the car number 80, and the 72 of Hayden Cardwell, J.D. Brown in 14, and the 54, Tyler Hargrove.
You know, the only positional change from the starting lineup was Hayden Cardwell and JD Brown. JD Brown started 4th, he finished 5th. Hayden Cardwell started 5th, he finished 4th. Other than that, everybody stayed the same. So there won't be too much of a difference between changing the lineup for tonight's main event. And of course, don't forget that we'll be up next on the program. So what we'll do, we'll take this opportunity to step aside here on Ultimate TV, play a couple of bills, play a couple of ads, and we'll get ready for tonight's main event for the National Oval Racing Association UMP Modified Nationals. Your A-Main 60 laps up around the corner.
My name is Steven Corpenos. I'm a senior web developer here at iRacing, and I work on the beta UI. It's funny because iRacing has been around for 10 years, but we want to keep delivering the best possible user experience to our customers, and we've found that the old UI isn't exactly what we're trying to deliver in 2018. We want to use new features and provide the best possible experience when using the sim. One of the projects that I've been working on is some custom heat racing configuration for hosted races. We've been listening to our customers. Everyone's been asking for custom heat races. Maybe you want to tweak a few things with the preset iRacing configurations. Well, now you can using the beta UI. So once you're at the home page of the beta UI, you just go to create a race. Then from there you go to your set race options. And you'll notice here under event types, you can actually choose heat racing. First, I'm going to show you how to create a new format from scratch. You can choose the number of entrants. And as you can see, when I made that change, the change was actually reflected on the right side in the graph. Also, you can use the estimated duration at the bottom of the graph when you're changing the length to see what the total duration of your event will be. In addition, you can customize every aspect of the session information, practice, qualifying, heat races, consolations, and of course, the final feature race. Because the beta UI allows us to develop features that are robust and complex, this feature will be exclusively available on the beta UI. Once you've made all of the changes, you can hit save. Say you forgot what you selected. You can always preview it using the preview format button. We are very excited to release the brand new heat racing configuration feature that will be available in Season 3 of iRacing.
flag, green flag. Everybody. I want to be right behind you. Gonna be right behind you. So I don't know what to do. Somebody put oil down. We're on the fence. Are they flagging it? Flag, white flag. Clear. Man, this is it. Check a flag.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ultimate TV for the final night of the National Oval Racing Association UMP Nationals here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Steve, it is now time for your main event, and it has been 2 nights in the making. 2 prelim nights, a B main to find out which final drivers will be in the show. And what the ticker will show is 67 laps on the board. However, those first 7 laps are to get the drivers into their correct positions, their correct starting positions from the dash, from the drivers that have locked themselves into the main event via the opening prelim nights, and of course those final 8 drivers that made their way from the B main. First 7 laps, we're more than likely going to see a 4-wide salute. Who do you think is going to pick up the victory? Who goes to victory lane and why?
Well, I will say this. I will give a reason why I think Jordan Casey will go to victory lane. Not only did he sweep his prelim night, he's strong in the heat race, or not the heat race, the dash tonight. And it just shows ever since he made this move to D1RT what a contender he is. He has been week in and week out since he made this move. That's the reason why I'm going to pick Jordan Casey.
Well, that is a very good pick. And going, I mean, you look at the likes of, you know what, I'm going to also go with the D1RT guy. I'm going to go with Dylan Wilson. He starts right behind him. Wilson's very good on these long runs, and, well, it's going to be anybody's game between those. I mean, who knows? We might even see the likes of, Corey Whitworth, pick up a win here tonight, or even a podium as well. He'll be one to look out for.
Like last night, what we was telling people, I've seen Corey Whitworth, actually we both have witnessed it, where he has led flag to flag in a non-caution race, and it was at Lanier with Dora, and he was strong all night long. We've seen that, and we know he can contend for a win. And look, I mean, any one of these drivers, I would say, from mid-pack on up to the front, has a chance to win tonight. The $100.
Yeah, well, they've got 24 drivers on the racetrack right now, lining up behind the iRacing.com pace track. It'll be 2 laps behind that one before the iRacing gives the green flag. However, that is not the green flag for tonight's race. Of course, that will be lap 7 is when we take the official green flag. Of course, we're going to get the drivers into their correct starting position. Of course, we want to thank everybody that's tuned in here tonight, last night, and basically over all 3 nights. It's been a wonderful 3-night experience. So we've had a lot of time to play some ads, as well, night 1 was just filled with ads, but we've seen some pretty good racing on night 1. You've seen some good racing in night number 2, and now it comes down to these final 60 laps. Which driver is going to be crowned the National Oval Racing Association UMP Nationals champion here tonight?
That's right, the only inaugural champion that will be crowned tonight.
And just looking at, I don't think we've gotten our 5,000 follower mark just yet. So again, we are close to hitting that one. We're 10 away, Steve. We are 10 away. We sit at 4,990 follows on Ultimate Dirty on our Facebook page. It's like putting a cheeseburger in front of an Ethiopian or a fat kid. It's just dangling in front of him, dangling a carrot.
Yep. So right now they're taking the drivers are lining up for the from the dashes and from the points from the both nights, and then they'll line up their B main drivers behind.
Make that 9 away, Kenny. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate it. We get closer again. I think someone's taking a bite out of the cheeseburger. It might even be a Big Mac. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We'll get there. I'm confident we'll get there. Whether it's tonight or tomorrow.
Woo, woo. Yep. Let the dogs out. Woo, woo.
Wow. Meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
I feel hungry after that one, actually.
You slept long enough, you should be hungry.
Yeah, 11 hours. Pretty good sleep, mate. Pretty good sleep. Alright, so the field, again, they are just making sure they have got the correct lineup. Of course, the first 7 laps of this 67 on the board is to get the drivers into their correct positions. You see the drivers in the mid-pack just sorting out where they need to be. And the drivers already up front. They are raring to go. They are waiting. They're just itching to get on that gas. Steve, we've seen the track, of course, carry over. Well, you seen the track carry over last night. Track carried over once again tonight. How do you see this one playing out? Do you see a top, a bottom? Do you see the slider line coming into play? I mean, what are you expecting from this racetrack, come the start of this race and even towards the end of it?
I really see... I'll bet it'd be like last night, the bottom come in for a little bit, then the top. Slider line really wasn't in last night. It's mainly the bottom and top taking turns. Versus.
Okay, all right. No, I think things just got a bit sexual here on Ultimate Dirt TV.
I mean that
way. Here we go. The drivers are making their way into the greatest sight in all of motorsports. A 4-wide salute, ladies and gentlemen, as their way of thanking you, the race fans, for tuning in here to Ultimate Dirt TV tonight, as Once the drivers are in their correct formation, they will stay in this 4-wide salute for a lap or two. But Steve, as you know, there is no better sight in all the motorsports than a 4-wide salute. And boy, oh boy, you just look at 24 UMP modifieds roll around in rows of 4x4. How good is it?
Sorry, I left. What'd you say?
Yeah, no, good chat. Good chat, Steve. Good chat.
I had to run get my drink. You know, I told you during a break I was going to get a drink. Well, I forgot it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long does it take to get this drink?
Well, when you forget, it takes a while. But look at these drivers. Phenomenal job on the 4 wide as they break loose now. They go 2 by 2. They're going to rack them and stack them, and they're going to have some unexpected violence. Who do you expect to fight first, Brett?
I don't know if this is a domestic violence case or what, because you were talking about people being on top, people being on bottom. Now you're talking... Oh, my goodness. Now you're talking about getting violent with each other. Oh, this is wild. I don't know. I think that topside is going to be the place to be, and I think, you know, in the last 15 to 20 laps, I think that bottom side is going to come back in, but that's just me.
That's right. You know, and then, you know, when they're throwing sliders on each other like that, it really depends. As lights out, they're going green. This time by Jordan Casey picking up the pace a little bit with Corey Whitworth on his side. As they're going down the back straightaway, will lead us down to the green flag, Brett. You ready, sir?
Born ready for these type of races. The National Oval Racing Association, UMP Nationals. The final 60 laps is upon us. We are green here at the Volusia Speedway Park, and it is Jordan Casey getting a good launch ahead of the rest of the field. Dylan Wilson got a good jump on the inside, down into 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. Dylan Wilson moves into second. Corey Whitworth back to third. However, here comes Hayden Carver. Look at D1RT in a matter of 1 lap. They go 1, 2, and 3. And Whitworth, as quick as you like, gets shuffled back to position 4. JD Brown works the bottom side as well.
That's right. You see, the battle for that 4th spot. You know, JD Brown was strong last night. That was, you know, a really good race to see him. But you look past them, they're double file all the way back. And look at where Dylan Fox is right now on the grid.
Conspiracies going on. Dylan Fox is in about the 9th position. So inside the top 10. But, man, you keep an eye on this battle for 4th and 5th right now. JD Brown along with Tyler Hargrove. Look at Corey Whitworth trying to get back around the outside of the 7 machine of Hayden Carver, the 72. He can't make up his mind what number he wants to run, 7 or 72, as he runs the slider line down into 3 and 4, and Dylan Wilson all over the back of Jordan Casey. This is pretty much prelim night number 1 as it stood, but man, Jordan Casey had the field covered as now Wilson up on the inside for the race lead. Down into 3 and 4 we go. Casey's got the run on the top side. Wilson slides up, they run side by side. Is Casey still going to lead this one?
That's right. You know, I'm watching a little further back. You know, the 71 to 14 and the 331 to 4 were 4 wide for a lap almost, Brett, as Drew Hopkins at 157 kind of breaks away from him. Run that 10th. That was positions 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Now Cody Batten in that 71 machine, buried deep in the mid-pack of this feature event. He's trying to make his way towards a top 10 position in this one. However, the battle still rages on for the top 3 right now as Hayden Carbo. He is caught up to the back of Dylan Wilson and Jordan Casey, excuse me. But Casey still rides the top side, so does Carbo. Wilson went right through the middle, so these drivers proving that there is a couple of lines at the moment right now, and they all run different lines down into 3 and 4. Look at Carbo, put the right rear on the cushion in 3 and 4, and just absolutely rail that top side. Man, Casey's got those internet issues where he keeps blinking in and out. That's got to be off-putting for the driver, the number 80 of Dylan Wilson and Hayden Cardwell.
Hey, that's the magical power. That's how he's going to win tonight, because woman, he's there. Next thing you're going to notice, he's gone. Well, that just backfired on me once I paid attention to what I just said.
I get
I mean, gone like he's way out in front, okay?
I'm sure that's what you meant, Steve, as Casey continues to lead. Again, throughout prelim night number 1 and tonight's main event. He has not led a lap. He has not led a lap, if you know what I mean. He's led every lap so far. He started on the pole of the prelim night. The only time he hasn't led a lap has been in the heats and the qualifiers, where he had to come from position 7 and 6 in those ones. And even then, it didn't take him all that long to get to the front. 40, make that 39? No, I don't know what we've got left. 49, something like that. 48. 67 is such a weird number.
Well, it's better than 69.
Yeah, turns out if you got to 68, you would have to go, but you would have turned around to go to 69. Oh boy, we're getting crazy. Let's try and focus on the races. A lot of the drivers. Look at the 3-wide battle right now between the D1RT drivers, the 999, Shad Prescott, and Clay Devon as well. In the 84, they're all right on the top side. They're right in behind the 157 of Drew Hopkins. Now, Drew Hopkins is doing a phenomenal job right now in that 157 car inside your top 10. He's right in behind Dylan Thomas again. And Tyler Hargrave, who you said last night, Steve, was there towards the end of the feature race and pretty much there all night, in fact. He's still doing a good job, to hold off the guys behind him.
That's right. Let's call the 999 the Joker.
Yeah, well, they are a bunch of clowns, these fellas. Look at the battle on for the race lead. Meanwhile, Wilson has got up on the inside.
Theory.
Wilson is now making a challenge for the race lead. Casey still leads the lap, but into 1 and 2, and Wilson has found something through the middle of the racetrack. He's found the groove that could be the race-winning move. There's still plenty of laps to go. 44, in fact, this time by Dylan Wilson will lead that lap, and it is the first time Jordan Casey has not led a lap in an A-main all week long.
That's right. And that high side, though, look, almost 3 wide in turn 3 as Wilson slides on up front the nose of the 42, and he ducks underneath him, goes back down on the front straightaway in turn number 1 on the bottom side of Wilson. Wilson's going to carry the momentum on the high side as he exits turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
It's funny how in just a couple of laps, Steve, the lines can change for the drivers. You've seen Casey. He was happy running the top side. He got passed on the bottom side. And now look, Wilson's gone to the top. Casey went to the bottom on the previous lap, and he couldn't get anything done. So it comes back down to the drivers' setups right now. You'd think that they'd be on very identical setups as, well, here goes Hayden Cowboy. He's very, very good at running that slider line. As we've now got 41 laps left in this one. So far, 19 completed. And it's all been under the green flag conditions. They have pulled a 2.2 second gap to 4th place of Corey Whitworth, who has now been pressured by Hollywood in the number 14 car of J.D. Brown.
I wonder, do we get first and second payout, since we picked them to?
Surely we've got to get half of it at least.
All right. I would think so. Ed, make it happen for us.
Well, Ed still owes me a shit ton of money for last night for letting those 2 clowns in the booth anyway, so... They're going 3 wide right now. Fox. We've got the 03 of Dylan Thomas and Shad Prescott. Shad Prescott is making moves, Steve. Remember, he started deep in this field. He won the B main, and he is now up inside of the top 10. In fact, 7th position as it stands, and challenging for 6th. He looks to put the move there on Tyler Hargrave. Meanwhile, it's still Wilson, Casey, and Cardwell out in front.
That's right. As you look at Shad having a rough night last night, and he is battling for that 6th spot now, as he's now in 6th as Tyler Hargrove moves into 7th. He does the slide job to clear him, and now you got the Joker underneath trying to get underneath of Hargrove for that 7th spot.
Just quietly look at Wilson, in fact, moved away from Cardwell and Casey as they ride 2nd and 3rd. Wilson, your race leader by half a second. In fact, 7/10 of a, make that 8/10 of a second down into 1 and 2. So, boy, oh boy, Dylan Wilson really starting to get a wriggle on now. And if Hayden Cardwell is going to have any sort of chance at winning this one, he needs to get by Jordan Casey fairly quickly. He will put that slider on Casey into 3 and 4. And well, Steve, we are coming up to, in the next 3 or 4 laps, to the halfway stage of this race.
That's right. You know what, Brett, was really amazing to me with this NORA race? So, I would say half the drivers have raced in other leagues, okay? And this is right about one of the few leagues that they actually go caution-free almost. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%
Does that shock
agree.
you?
No, not at all.
I mean, phenomenal job with Nora. I mean, I give him credit where credit is due. And you guys, like I said, over half of them race with different leagues, and there's cautions all the time. And they come to Nora, and it's good, clean race.
As we keep an eye, excuse me, keep an eye on the battle for that 10th position in the 03 in the Yardbird. Dylan Thomas, he holds on to that spot. Well, did hold on to that spot, but not before Cody Batten worked to his inside. Cody Batten in the yellow, red, blue and white number 71 machine, looking to get by the 54 of Tyler Hargrove. Hargrove just slipping back just a little bit late in this race. And Steve, I think you said it. This is what happened last night. He held on. He was good at the start of the race, but towards the end of that one, he started to slip away. And that's exactly what the 54 is doing right now. Is that nearly 3 wide down into 3 and 4. Thomas trying to make it work on the bottom, Batten through the middle. Hargrove on the top side, still side by side. Meanwhile, Cardwell just eating into that lead. The gap is starting to close in this time by. We are going to have 30 down, 30 to go here in the main event. And look at Cardwell. He is now climbing all over the back of him like a horse. Giddy up, cowboy.
And you know what? Maybe I should want Hayden to win, so that way you can't claim this victory.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually 96 of West Kirchen up onto the outside fence, and that is gonna bring on the first caution flag of the evening. And Steve, it's taken 31 and a quarter laps to get our first yellow of the night. Boy, oh boy, these guys probably make that 32. In fact, as we had, we'll call it 32 laps. But man, 32 laps, and if this was any other feature event where it would have been 30 laps, we would have just gone green to checker that entire distance.
That's right. And, I mentioned how Nora has a lot of green flag, start to finish green flag racing with no cautions in it. And their future races are not 30 laps. They're not 40. They're 60 to 70 laps we've seen this happening.
So the yellow flag out for the first time this evening. Of course, TJ Wyman, he is done for the night, along with Bryson Daffin. Wes Kirchner, who was stopped and parked up on the little fence there in turns 1 and 2. His night is done. So we've still got 21 drivers. So it's not like, we've got, 12, 13, 14 drivers. This was a full 24-car field. And, to have 3 cars so far finish their nights early on, with that many green flag laps, that's a credit to the drivers and being able to adapt to the racetrack and the tricky track conditions that we're seeing here tonight.
Definitely. You know what? I'm gonna give some advice to my driver. Okay, when the green flag comes out, you're on the bumper leader and just push them into turn 1 so you can duck underneath them and pass them. Sorry.
All right, now I'm going to give advice to my leader. Brake check the guy behind you and then take off. Problem solved.
This is gonna be a single file.
Hey, I was just gonna say, it doesn't really matter now. Well, it does to me, because hey, I can still get my guy to brake check and stack up the rest of the field. Problem solved. Easy win, easy money.
Hey, iRacing, he can pass on the outside. Scoot down, Dylan.
Single file, doesn't matter. Oh, actually, yeah, Wilson here. Pretend to go, stay on the outside, let everybody pass you on the inside, they all get black flagged, you win. Problem solved, we go back to green flag action. Green flag is back underway, and it is Dylan Wilson getting the jump on Hayden Cardwell. Jordan Casey third. What's that, Steve?
I was going to say, on that start, you saw J.D. Brown put heavy pressure on the 69 there for that 4 spot. Yes. But look at Shad Prescott, all on the top, on the cushion, tapping that wall, trying to get as much as he can out of the track and out of the car to get on. Dylan Wilson makes a mistake. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. But if Whitworth and J.D. Brown don't get on the top side, Shad Prescott is going to fly by them. He's going to do what I do to Hayden Cardwell. See, Hayden Cardwell raced me last night. I blew by him that fast. I blew the stickers off his car. This is what it looks like.
There you go. You haven't found them all yet.
I don't think that's the only thing he hasn't found either. I think he's trying to follow in the footsteps of Cody Batten.
But look at Shad Prescott trying to put a move on the 14 and a 69.
Yeah, Casey run on the bottom side again. In fact, run on the slaughter line through 3 and 4. So, I mean, T1RT 1, 2, and 3. And
3
now,
wide.
yeah, and now potentially 4 as well as they go 3 wide down into 1 and 2. Whitworth on the top side, Prescott through the middle. And JD Brown, Hollywood making it work and making it rain on the bottom side. Will he slide up through 3 and 4? He comes up just a tad. And he's going to pick up and reclaim 4th position. He's got to be careful right now because the 14. So a couple of 14s run on the bottom side. JD Brown, the blue and orange number number 14. He holds down 4th. 5th is the black and white number 14. It doesn't matter if you're black or white because Shad Prescott is moving through this field.
That's right. He's running around Hollywood, that's for sure.
Cardwell continues to rip the lip into turn number 3 and 4. However, the gap is slightly under half a second. Wilson again with just 18 laps remaining. We are looking at 9 miles away from victory lane, Steve. And how does one Hayden Cardwell get by the driver of the number 80 machine who realistically has not put a foot wrong all night just yet?
Uses the bumper.
Would he do it though? Would he do it to a teammate?
I doubt it. I doubt it. Because you know what? When they race together, they have fun racing. And you can see, we have seen them put on hell of a shows, slide jobs upon one another lap after lap. So, no, he wouldn't do it to him.
So, just looking at the lap times right now, there were 18 sixes. Cardwell was ripping the top side. Wilson was sort of running mid-track. And Cardwell, on that previous lap, he was a 10th and a bit quicker. He's over a 10th and a half quicker again. So, Cardwell might have found something. But, again, he goes back to that top side. Wilson really needs to be careful here over these next sort of 3 or 4 laps. He needs to make sure that he hits his mark, because if Hayden Cardwell gets to his outside, it might be good night.
That's right. And you saw Drew Hopkins in the wall on the front straightaway, but carries it on. But meanwhile, you know, the real battle right now is for that 4th spot, as they've been going at it for a couple of laps now. And you see Corey Whitworth in his 69 starting to fade just a tad bit, as now you see the 999 car looking underneath of Corey Whitworth.
Yeah, Whitworth and the 999 now battling it out for 6th and 7th. Meanwhile, the 14s continue to put the pressure on one another. JD Brown holds on to position 4. We'll try and keep an eye on the battle on for the race lead as well. Again, it's just about 3/4 tenths of a second. Steve, look at the cars bounce, and Cardwell may have got into the back. Oh no, Jordan Casey, hang on to it. He did. Look at the cars, they go down the straightaway, Steve, going down into turns 1 and 3. They are literally bouncing down the back straightaway. You'd think it's a motocross track right now. Look at them.
Yes,
Bounce. Man, you thinking I'm at a strip club?
They're trying to get some money, that's for sure. As they complete lap number 57, 10 laps to go.
So we are pretty much a heat race distance away. Jeez, Dylan Wilson, don't scare me like that ever again. He got so close to that opening on the back straightaway. As here comes Cardwell once again. He was a 10th quicker. Wilson down low runs the slider line. Cardwell's kept the foot in the bucket on the top side. He goes down low into 3 and 4. Here's the move that could be the race-winning move. Can he pull it off? No, it's going to be Wilson to hold on to the top spot for the time being. But there's literally a car length between them. Oh, Cardwell went upstairs. I thought he might have gone down low. Wilson giving Cardwell the respect not to chop him off, going down into 1 and 2. And boy, oh boy, these guys are absolutely nailing it here at the Volusia Speedway Park. 7 laps to run this time by, Steve.
That's right. If you look at Cardwell's nose, he has a dirty nose. For all that mud he's been collected behind Wilson.
Oh, that ain't mud, Steve. Oh, boy, oh, boy. He was certainly sniffing something all right, and that's why he's got the brown nose. You make your mind up what he sniffed.
And you look at Hayden Cardwell shooting it back up top because he knows he gets that good run on down the back straightaway. And look at him close the gap on Wilson as he jumps to the high side.
And here I was thinking clowns had red noses. 5 to go. That time by. Down into 1 and 2. The slider line for Wilson. Cowbell on the top side. Now he's going to go down low. Look for that slider down into 3 and 4. Slide job as Wilson turns it back underneath him. And it's going to be still Wilson holding on to the top spot. 2 miles to go for Dylan Wilson. Steve. Oh, the yellow. Now, do we have green-white checkers on? Because if we don't, I think this race might be over.
Now, surely we have green-white checkers. I believe we had it on Monday night. Let's hope so. Because you can't win like that.
Why not? You can. You can certainly win like that.
No,
drama late in this race. Let's find out. Let's find out from race control if the green-white checkers are on. Holy crap. I mean, even if they aren't on, we're still probably... okay, they're on. They're on, Steve. We get 2 laps. It all comes back down to the restart. Boy, oh boy. All right, I'm going to put you in a position. If you're leading this race, what goes through your mind right now?
How am I going to block Hayden Cardwell? That's what's going to go through my head.
Do you worry about blocking him, or do you worry about trying to get a good restart and hopefully that you pull away and run the same line you've run for the last 25 laps?
You know, I would run the same line I've been running, but, you know, if they're on the radio together, I would just talk as loud as I can on there just to, you know, distract them and go ahead.
So this is what... Now, I actually had this scenario. Now, in a 360 race on Sunday night Australian time, in the league race, I was leading. We had a couple of green-white checkers. I was out by 3 seconds. I was going. No one was catching me, right? A green-white checker comes out, and I had Tim Ryan starting behind me. Now, we all know, if you don't know who Tim Ryan is, he was the first ever World of Outlaws sprint car champion. What I did, I turned my relative off, so I didn't look at it. I think that's going to be key here. And that could be a move that maybe Dylan Wilson might be doing right now. He might not even have his relative on as it stands. But the lights are out on the iRacing.com page. And by the way, I did win that race just quietly. I don't want to brag about it. I'm going to throw it out there. Just weird flex, but okay, I'll flex it out. As the drivers, green-white checker into turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps around the Volusia Speedway Park. Can Wilson, can he hang on? Cowbell got a good start, but the green flag flies. 2 laps around Volusia, 1 and 2. Cardwell topside, Wilson slider line, Jordan Casey on the bottom side. He might be a sleeper in this one as well. Down the back straightaway for the penultimate time into 3 and 4. It's Wilson through the middle, sliding up to the top. Cardwell on the top side. The white flag is out. Final time for the National Oval Racing Association UMP Nationals. Through 1 and 2. Cardwell's throwing the BK, making down into 3 and 4. He's got to the inside, down into 3 and 4 for the final time. He hits the wall. He slides up. Wilson turns it underneath him off turn number 4. Dylan Wilson goes to victory lane here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Second at the line will be Hayden Cardwell. And John Casey rounds out your top 3. Shad Prescott home in 4th. JD Brown in position number 5. Dylan Fox, Corey Whitworth, Drew Hopkins, Clay Debon, Nick Jordan, your top 10. Tyler Hargrove, Brett Rolls, Dylan Petty, Tristan Carmen, Shane Evans, Laurel Havens, Adam Tevez, Brian Powell, Dustin Hall, Cody Batten, Dylan Thomas, Wes Kirshner, Bryson Dafford, and TJ Wyman. Steve, what a race and what a finish we had here at the Volusia Speedway Parks. The fireworks going off in the background, and boy, oh boy, what a 3-night show we had.
Oh, yes, definitely. Action-packed all 3 nights. And the feature race tonight did not prove us any differently. It proved why Nora puts on some of the best shows.
Boy, oh boy, what a finish that was. What a green-white checker. And we have our top 3 standing by in just a few moments' time. And we'll get the replays up of that, well, it won't be the final lap, but we'll chat to the driver that comes home in first place tonight in Calabrese and I picked him to start from position 3. He doesn't let me down this time. Dylan Wilson, congratulations on the win. Boy, that was juicy in those final couple of laps.
Yeah. I knew Hayden was getting great runs on the back with that top side run. So I just tried to run my line. I hate being mirror drove, so I wasn't going to mirror drive him. I was hoping if he did get by me, he'd get by me early, so that way I could kind of fall in behind him and learn the top, and maybe we could have throw some sliders or something. But we were able to kind of run like a line where you were blocking a little bit, but it's the line I was committed to already. So he ran me really clean, and I thank him for that, because there was times on the back straightaway where my car was jumping all around and I had no traction, and so I was just hanging on and got lucky with a win there at the end.
With 4 to go, a yellow comes out. We were debating on hopefully that the green white checker was going to be on. It was on. I asked Steve what his thoughts would have been driving down the back straightaway under 2 to green. I'll ask you the same question because you're in the moment. What goes through your mind knowing that you got a green white checker? You got the likes of Hayden Carbell and of course Jordan Casey, top 3 all night, by the way. You 3 guys absolutely put on a stellar show. What goes through your mind when you're rolling around under yellow, knowing that you're 2 laps away from victory?
Well, first of all, you can live if somebody outruns you cleanly, So if I would have finished second and Hayden got by me there with a slider or whatever, it would have been cool. But you just don't want to beat yourself. You know what I mean? It's harder whenever you beat yourself and let one get away. So I just wanted to run a smooth, clean line those last 2 laps. And if Hayden got by me, then so be it. But you just don't want to put yourself in the wall or hit the wall or do something. It's hard to live with those.
Do you run with the relative on in these cars?
Yeah, I always do.
Did you turn it off? Because I had a similar incident on Sunday night. I actually turned it off, so I wasn't. So basically, I took the took the option of looking down at the relative to see if I was gaining or losing time. Did you turn that off, or did you leave it on and just pretty much put your mind to say, look, don't look at it, just hit my marks?
No, iRacing gives it to us, so I use it. I don't really look at it, you know what I mean? That late into a run, times it's fallen off a bunch, so it's hard to really tell. You got to do the math in your head on how many tenths you're off of your fast time. So I don't really look at it, but it's there. So I wish we didn't have all that stuff. It'd make the racing, I think, a lot better and a lot cleaner, honestly. But if it's there, I'm going to use it. So.
Now, I think what Steve was going to pipe up and say, since I picked you, surely I'm entitled to half the winnings, right? Because we won together.
I couldn't even tell you how much it is to win, but whatever it is to win, I'll give
$1
you your half in Australian money, whatever.
$1 to win.
Oh, bud.
Hell yeah. Mate, we're going to the casino. We're going to the strip club, baby.
I'll be there in about 22 hours.
Well, I'll tell you what, since I've got nothing better to do during the day, I'll wait for you, bud. I'll even pick you up from the airport. Congratulations on the win, man. We'll let you get out of here and celebrate a 1-2-3 with your team. But before we do, sponsor, shout-outs, all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes it happen on the outside of this race car?
Thank you to you guys for broadcasting this deal, UDTV, D1R2 Racing, of course. Thank you to Nora for putting this deal on. And, anybody that was watching and cheering on.
All right, Dylan Wilson, they're home in first place. We'll throw it over to Steve McMillan, who is standing by with the first loser tonight in second place, Hayden Carbell.
All right. Mr. Hayden Carwell coming home with second place. Congratulations, sir. You were coming on strong in the last couple of laps before the last restart happened, and you gave it all you had on the last lap. What was going through your head?
Yeah, the track was pretty brutal out there, but the whole night, I like running the top anywhere I go, and I'm glad to see like the cushion actually come in here, even though there wasn't much of a bottom. But it was so hard to run that top. I don't think hardly anybody else was running up there in 3 and 4 like I was, and I could get those runs off turn 2 on Wilson, but you just can't really go anywhere. So like I'd throw a slider, but he would just be able to go right by. He would have had to make a really huge mistake for me to get by him, but we definitely had a really good car tonight and a good run for the team, and we'll move on.
Well, tell me about this conspiracy theory going on.
What do you mean?
A good one. Anyway, so your other teammate Jordan Casey, he led right about half the race like that, and him and Dylan Wilson battling like that. What was you doing just then? Just sizing them up? Just what was? How do you prepare yourself?
Well, that early in the race, we know it's a 60 lapper. I mean, I know Jordan had a lead there before the halfway stage, and you know, I knew I had a good car the whole night. So you're kind of just riding there, and then just trying to make your moves very slow wherever they don't go, and just hope you just stay out of trouble. All you really need to do early in these races, and that's what we did.
All right, well, tell everybody who all made it possible for you tonight, sir.
Oh,
Also,
of
thank Brett
course,
Wheeler for
everybody.
blowing the stickers off that race car. Yep, no worries. Anytime.
Oh yeah, yeah. That just gotta thank everybody at DNRT. They help me out a lot. They do more than enough. Especially Eddie Livingston for letting me be a part. And really can't thank Dylan Willis tonight. He showed me his setup tonight. Had this thing dialed in all night, and I can't thank all the boys enough. And can't thank everybody at this league for Nora for putting this on and broadcast. I love the broadcast. Can't thank everybody that helps this place go around.
All right, that's your second place finisher, Hayden Gardwell. Let's throw it back up to Brett with your third place.
Yeah, they call him Mr. Tasty. His name is Jordan Casey. He comes home in third place here tonight. Jordan, congratulations on this third place run. I think you're about 30 laps too shy of a victory here, but a pretty overall successful. What would be 2 nights so far. You picked up a win in prelim night number 1, and you lead over half this race here tonight. But those guys out in front just a little bit better than you tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Hayden and Dylan definitely got around the track a lot better, and felt more comfortable after I got into third, and then I could search around a little bit more, even though I was searching in front of Dylan there for a while to where I was gonna wreck us both, kinda. But I don't know. He's a clean racer, and I'm glad he won. He deserves it. But good job to Hayden, and good job to Shad. Started way back there, and Clay and everybody, Dylan.
Throughout those
Dylan who?
Throughout those first 30 laps, as you said, you were searching. What goes through your mind? Do you race your teammates a little bit harder, or do you show them just a little bit more respect, knowing that they're your teammates and you don't really want to get into them and stuff like that? I mean, yeah, what goes through your mind when you're racing your teammates, around here for 60 laps?
It was inevitable that they were gonna both get around me, regardless of time. But Dylan got around me, and I was just searching, and Hayden just kept on getting killer runs off the back straightaway, and I felt like I was holding him up, so I told him to go to the bottom and slide me one lap. But he was gonna get around me no matter what. I just thought I'd save some time, and so I could search around a little more and not kind of wreck us both there.
You contested in 5 races over 2 nights. Your worst finish was third. That happened once. You finished first on 4 occasions. Would you put that down to a successful week, or do you think in the big race, you come home third, do you feel a little bit let down, or what are the emotions like right now after this 60 lap main event?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, taking third to Hayden and Dylan's a pretty tough task itself, so I'll take it with all these good drivers in here, especially. So disappointed I couldn't get the win, but I know I'm right there and I'm close. So tonight was.
All right.
I was disappointed with you. I'll just say that, okay? Because I
Oh, me
picked you
too,
to
bud.
win. I picked you to win.
Well, should have picked Dylan.
I
If
did.
you would have
I
asked
couldn't.
me
He
who's
did.
gonna win it before, I told Dylan all day in chat that he's gonna win this thing. Basically, he knows he's gonna win.
And
He's
just
a
to
wheel
and
man.
just to clarify, Steve actually had the first pick, by the way. So he had a whole field to pick from, and he picked you. But anyhow, enough about that. Congratulations on your third
Who'd you
place.
pick, Brett?
I picked the winner, mate. I only pick winners, mate. I picked Dylan Wilson. I knew that some bitch was going to go to victory lane.
Damn straight.
All right, congratulations on.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, he's fast. He's freaky fast. But congratulations on the third. We'll let you get out of here and celebrate a 1, 2, 3, and 4th for D1RT. We'll let you thank some sponsors as well before we let you go, bud.
Yeah, just everybody at D1RT, everybody at race tonight. Eddie Livingston, he was in there tonight, and Dylan actually, I think he got the setup for all all of us basically, and we all ran similar besides Shad, with Shad was digging there. So I'd like to thank Dylan and everybody else. Thank you guys. Thanks for letting me come in the booth last night. It was pretty fun, even though I wasn't that good. But we'll see you guys later.
All right. Yep, go. What were you going to say, Steve? Or were you going to say something to Jordan, were you?
We're good. We're good.
We're good. All right. Hey, bud, thank you very much for covering last night and, of course, joining me in the booth for nights 1 and tonight. It's, as always, it's been a pleasure having you in here. And we've had a lot of fun throughout the past couple of nights, and we'll continue to do so tomorrow night. But your final thoughts from yourself over the past couple of nights?
Well, I could say, the inaugural Nora Modified Nationals, I would say, by far sticks out as one of the best races as Josh has put on this season. The money paying races, he's had them for the midgets and the sprint cars.
Yeah, probably.
He's had them twice. Yeah, this is his third one. I will say this outranks any one of the two previous ones. So congrats to Josh.
Yeah, big thanks to the guys at National Oval Racing Association for putting on this 3-night show. Big thanks to our sponsors and partners as well. Big thanks to Wicked Cushion, 19 Designs, World of Thunder iRacing League, National Oval Racing Association, JR Productions and Media, Monsters of Dirt, iRacing iFlags, and Black Diamond Motorsports. Check them out on our website, www.ultimatedirttv.com. And we are going to be live tomorrow night.
If we're not fired before then, this could be our last broadcast, Brett.
I think we've said that. I think we've said that for the last 3 weeks. Even somehow we're still going. So it's.
But get the sponsor right. You got to make sure you say the sponsor right tomorrow, as we're canned.
Well, shit happens.
The Triple X tomorrow night.
All right, on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV, the management behind the scenes, everybody that makes this all possible, thank you to the race fans that have tuned in not only tonight, but of course any time that you join us here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Again, we are so close to 5,000 followers on Facebook. I'll tell you what we're standing at the moment, 4,995. So 5 followers away from reaching that 5,000 follower milestone. So thank you very much for everybody that has tuned in to any of our broadcasts and, of course, liked, shared, followed our page. And, of course, we are itching to get 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel as well. Go to youtube.com/UltimateDirtTV. Hit the subscribe button. You don't have to watch it on there if you don't want. If you want to come back to the Facebook streams, that is fine. But on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV, and on behalf of your broadcast team tonight, on behalf of Stephen McMillan and myself, Brett Wheeler, we will see you back tomorrow night for the Monsters of Dirt doubleheader with the Pro and Super Late Models from 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Until then, good night, everyone. Stay safe.